Daniel Pioro or Pioro is a violinist, and he has brought on many musicians to craft his debut album here, Dust. Dust is a classical piece of music that came out back in March of this year, and I have only just recently caught on to the album, and the reason I'm talking about it is because it's fantastic. It is friggin' fantastic. The violin playing across this album is extraordinary, honestly. There are so many moments that just completely floor me, and even multiple listens later, I am just taken aback by how friggin' great this is. Dust is quite an ambient listen as well. There are some very unsettling and haunting moments across this thing, but every so often, the violins will come through and just completely steal the show. Particles is the perfect example. It is just such a beautiful track, and then slowly, it just builds up into this amazing cacophonous moment with the violins where they just start crashing in, and they're just so sharp on the ears, but it just works so damn well. Passacaglia is just a heartwarming moment on the album too. This one just touches my friggin' soul. It's actually a moment that totally reminds me of the Phantom Thread score too, which was crafted by Johnny Greenwood. And I'm not entirely sure if there are any musicians involved in Dust that were involved with that. If there are crossovers, I would not be surprised at all. But even still, it really just captures that sound that Johnny Greenwood was going for with that soundtrack as well. It just really takes you back to that time period while also having this very modern sound to it as well. I mean, there aren't really many albums that come out these days that really sound anything like what Daniel is doing here. Dark Sky Community is one of the best tracks here as well. It's very icy, and for the 10-minute runtime, I'm just completely in awe of everything that's going on. I'm never sucked out of this track. Even many of the tracks are quite long as well, and yet they just totally know how to keep you invested for the whole runtime. The 10 minutes is completely warranted. Nothing feels dragged out, nothing feels like it's just drawling on for the sake of it, because the musicianship here is just so above the average that you're just completely in awe of what you're listening to the whole time anyway. The Lark Ascending is the closing track, which is 14 minutes long, and this is just such a sad piece of music, man. Like, you feel the pain in every note that is being played on this one. It's just so soft, it's so delicate, it really tickles you, while also sending a bit of a shiver down your spine because of just how brutally unhappy everything feels on this one. As much as I would have liked to have heard more moments like we did on Particles, where everything kind of just comes crashing together and the intensity just increases tenfold, I still am in awe of everything else on this album. Like, it is still absolutely fantastic, to the point where it could even be one of those that like rises to like a 9 out of 10 for me. I've just been in love with this from the minute I heard it, and each listen it keeps on delivering, and I think this is easily one of the best albums of the year so far. I'm gonna go 8.5 for now. Don't be surprised if by the end of the year I'm like, this is a 9, because it is just that fantastic. Please go check this out if you haven't already. Let me know what you think if you have heard of it, but there aren't too many people on this at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure if you will have heard of this, but please go check it out. A major undiscovered gem for the year for sure. I still do have a bit of a cold, so my throat is holding me back a little bit. I did want to get completely excited and unleash my feelings and emotions toward this album throughout the review, but unfortunately I'm just being held back slightly, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit boring or a bit hopefully I'll be bouncing back soon. Thank you for watching my review. Have a good day. Bye.